Hello everybody, I am Angry Bird, back with a new Steel Division League cast today, and we have a match from the Steel Division League Season 5 Division 3 Grand Final between Az and Milchkäse. So both of those names I am going to get wrong. Az is on the left hand side. He is playing the 20th Panzer on Vanguard, and yeah, I have no idea on the pronunciation of that, especially obviously the A with the accent above it. So apologies for name pronunciations. I'm going to go with Az, but I'm sure that's probably one. Now, Milchkäse, I have cast before on a Twitch stream that I did a while back. He was in the Steel Division 2 boot camp at the time. I think this was probably around about Season 4. And I think he was in either Division 4 or Division 5 of Steel Division League. And he was a pretty good player from that game. So, yeah, not surprised to see him in the final of Division 3. Now, I believe his name means milk cheese in German. Might have got that wrong because I'm remembering that from memory, from a while back, and I'm probably going to get his name wrong, but I'm going to try Milchkäse. And yeah, again, I apologize. I could use milk cheese, but I'm not 100% sure if that's the translation. That's what I think from memory. So who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what Angry Bird is going to be saying? No idea at all. No idea. The dog has no idea either. Right, let's have a look at Az on the left-hand side. He is playing 20th Panzer on Vanguard Income. The dog is in the background, making noise, just so you're all aware. So 20th Panzer, obviously well known for its abundance of light tanks. It does have that one Beuter Stalin there in A phase as the captured IS-2, the big heavy tank. 20th Panzer, a great division to be playing. But we don't actually see a lot of tanks in this division. 19 tanks. So where are all the tanks? I think it's because the Panzers are all 2 stars. So, yeah, I mean, just that one card of Panzer IV-H Hearth in A phase 2. Only 2 Panzer IV-H's taken on that card. Now, Panzer IVs at 2 star are known to be very good. This is a pre-Burning Baltics cast as well, so understandable, but you do lose, you know, quite a lot of tanks doing that. So will there be enough tanks in this 20th Panzer deck? That is one of the questions to ask. Those 19 tanks though in the tank tab, they are supplemented by the Panzer III-M in the recon tab. We've got the Panzer IV F1s in the support tab, and we've got 8 Marder ones in the anti-tank tab. So what's that in total? 26 plus 8, what's that? 32 or 34? 34. Quick maths, derp. 34 sort of armoured vehicles in total, I guess, which does put it at a much better, you know, number, I would say. Although the Panzer IV F1s, you know, they're not really tanks. They're kind of anti-infantry tanks, really. They're not there to fight enemy tanks. So you could quite easily take those off and say you've got 30 tank fighting tanks. That felt like such a long way to get to that observation. Let's move over to the right-hand side. We have Milchkäse playing the 3rd Fallschirmjäger, which we don't see a lot on the channel. And there's not a lot of tanks. So I've done all that working out of tanks. And yeah, there's 12 stucks. 12 stuck 3Gs. So all of that work that I did, working out the number of tanks, yeah, I didn't need to do that. So taking those 2-star Panzer IV-H's is probably not too much of an issue for Az, and he may well have adjusted his deck, knowing that he's coming up against the 3rd Fallschirmjäger. They don't get a lot of stugs or a lot of tanks, so he doesn't need an overwhelming number of Panzer IVs. So taking them at 2 stars is probably a good decision there, because The Panzer IVs can still kill Stugs. The Stugs have the advantage, but they are they are tank destroyers, really. So they are slower turning. You get 2 Panzer IV-Hs, especially in kind of like a pincer or a crossfire position, and those Stugs are going down. No questions asked. But the Fallschirmjägers, I think, are going to mostly be relying on the Pak 40s and the Pak 38s that they get a lot of those in the deck. We've also got the Flak 41 88mm, which are just the all-round iconic unit of the Germans in World War II and can definitely take out a number of tanks. And then the HS129 B2R3 and B3 in the plane tab, I think is going to be important for Milchkäse to kind of capture the skies, I would say, and ensure that he can use those B2s and B3s. Use the HS129s, because I think if he does that, he can clear up a lot of tanks. And in the infantry game, the 3rd Fallschirmjäger definitely have the advantage. Let's see how this game goes. Let's get underway and into the action. So, to recap, on the left-hand side, in red, we have Az playing the 20th Panzer on Vanguard Income. Looks like we've got the leader Hearth starting down there in the south. And on the right-hand side in blue, we have Milchkäse, who is apparently super bad, playing 3rd Fallschirmjäger. He's not super bad. Also on Vanguard Income. He is actually a good player. Let's have a look at Hearth. Not too much of a special skin there, but he is the 1212 Mega Man. And is that like an elephant on the back? Oh, look at the 20th Panzer tag there as well. Oh my god. Oh, the details. The details. Don't want to miss the first engagement action though. Looks like we got Flammenwerfers coming down south and into the centre. LG42 in there, remember. Oh, and I am just going to double check. This is pre-Burning Baltics. Yes, it is. Yeah. Just to make certain. So the Flammenwerfers didn't go down in the south. Looks like the LG42 is taking fire from the MG42 in the church tower there. And the Flammenwerfers cover themselves with smoke. So nice play. And ooh, a nice number of Flammenwerfers moving into that position. If they can cover themselves with smoke again and make sure they get there, then Az will be starting off with a very nice flag pickup here in the centre of this battlefield. He's currently 1311, could extend that to a 1410. I'm really surprised that MG42 hasn't got the kill there on any units at all. That is incredibly surprising to me. And a Ju-87 D5 Stuka coming in for the kill. Oh, look at that thing dive. Onto the MG42. Nice kill there from Az. Up north, we have the 251 that's pushed forward. It was trying to take on the FS Jaeger there. Oh, these guys have the FG42, remember. I love that thing. And Az nicely backing it off there and recognizing the threat, but the EB41 should be able to get the kill. Another Ju-87 D5 going after the MG42 again. Going into the Stuka famous dive. Missing the target this time. So Milchkäse pulls back that MG42. Down in the south, Hearth is finally in position, but look at this. Sneaky Panzer Shrek waiting. Ooh, this is going to be tight. This is going to be tight. Hearth stops. Hearth halts in position. And hopefully for Az, he doesn't push forward. Oh, that is tight. I don't think, even if that Panzer Shrek was right on the edge there, I don't think he'd have the range to kill Hearth. But we'll have to try and keep our eyes on it. Oh, looks like Az is trying to push forward there. I'm not quite so sure about the Flammenwerfers pushing out there. Yeah, they get surrendered thanks to the covering fire from the Stug 3G and the MG42 themselves. I guess Milchkäse moved back that MG42, so Az was going for the kill, but I think it would have been better just to keep those Flammenwerfers in the forest. Like, keep one here and then push one back and keep one here, just in case one of them dies to a indiscriminate bombing strike from those from a Stuka or anything that would come in. Interesting though that we were saying Milchkäse needs to secure the skies, and so far it's been Az that's got the lead in the air control stakes. Looks like the half track did go down. Oh, it looks possibly like another bombing strike from a Stuka maybe. Pack 38 taking the shots at that Panzer 3M. I think it's going to go down. Transmission damage, another shot, and I think it will go down. Struggling because of the APCR to get the kill there. But finally gets the armor crack, and that was a nice kill from the Pack 38. Lovely position this. If you guys play the game and don't know this position, know it now and use it, because that line down the road is fantastic. Oh, and the Pack 38 takes down the Panzer 4 F1, firing at it as well from the town. Here come the Ersatztruppen pushing forwards for the trying to get the capture of this forest. It's an ambitious move by Az. He's currently getting fired at by the Stug 3G and the Pack 3850. Unloads a couple of troops, trying to keep his other ones alive, desperately trying to make it into that forest. But once they get there, the FS Jaeger is probably going to tear them down anyway. So I understand the move, but the Ersatztruppen aren't really the right soldiers to do that. I think that was too ambitious. It could have been successful in one game, but in this game, I don't think it is going to be successful. Looks like Hoth has backed off slightly. The Panzerschreck has gone down, so I reckon it probably pushed forward to try and get the kill onto Hoth. A replacement Panzerschreck has come in there. Ju-87's coming in up north. One being forced back by the Black 41. Ooh, another one looks like it's about to get the strike in. No, that one's forced back as well by the Flak 41, but the final one down south will make it in to the Pack 3850. It does get one of its 50, I think it'll be a 50 kilogram bomb, it might actually be a 250 kilogram bomb. And the FS Jaeger do get into the forest and tear apart those Ersatztruppen. I mean, the close range engagements are all going to go the Fallschirmjäger's way. The infantry engagements as a whole are going to go the Fallschirmjäger's way. So Az needs to be careful here that he doesn't fight an infantry war. He needs to use his tanks. I like the decision to concentrate on the centre ground. I think that's where he's going to make most ground, because the north and the southern flanks are dominated by forest and close quarters action. He needs to use his tanks to really support his infantry in their engagements with the Fallschirmjägers. So in order to do that, he needs to destroy the enemy tanks and the enemy AT guns. So that's why he's focusing on those AT guns and the MG42s as well, with the Stuka attacks thus far. Looks like we've got the Stug firing up on the kill. Sorry about the camera work there. Again, showing that, highlighting this position, the Pack 38 kill on the Panzer 4H. Sorry, Panzer 4 F1, not Panzer 4H. The F1s though are decent at the anti-infantry role and the anti-AT role, although you shouldn't really use them in an anti-AT role, but they can do a better job than Panzer 4H's anyway. 251's going to go down to the Panzerschreck after a bombing strike from the Stuka onto the Battery Führer and FS Jaeger in that forest. The 251 doesn't really back off in time. Panzer 4 F1 goes down to a Stug 3G though, and that is an engagement that Az does not want to take. I'm really interested in his assistance in using the Stukas. I mean, they've been to great effect so far, but I would have thought coming up against the 3rd Fallschirmjäger, you wouldn't be as heavy in your use in aircraft, because you would expect the enemy to concentrate on fighters and controlling the skies. So he's getting away with it so far, and I think this is Milchkäse kind of... He is now buying in substantial anti-air, so I think he's gone for establishing a front line. And yeah, I mean, we do see now 2 37mm and 2 Flak 41 88mm onto the ground. So Az is not going to be able to sustain those Stuka attacks any longer. And I reckon they are pretty much now redundant with that anti-air now onto the battlefield. I just don't think he's going to get any more Stukas through. So we'll have to see how he continues. I think at this point, if he continues buying aircraft, then that might be a mistake. Obviously, using the Stukas that he already has, you know, is understandable. But buying more aircraft here could be a big mistake. Panzer IV H straying into the realm of the FS Jaeger, and the Panzerfaust kill does come in there. I think that was more of a mistake on Az's part. Well, Milchkäse recognised immediately the need to pull back that FS Jaeger, so he was keeping eyes in there. So here comes the Stuka strike. Luckily for Az, it is on troops kind of near his lines, and the AA was very far back. Oh, look at this Flak 41 though. If Milchkäse isn't careful, the Panzer IIIL is coming in here. We've got an engagement between the Panzer IIIL and the AB-41. There's a Stug 3G in the area as well. Ooh, I think the APCR needs to be off for this engagement. The Stuka coming in again. The Flak 41 unloads. The Panzer IIIL can now start firing on the Flak 41. Oh, big hit there. It's not going to get another chance. Yep, down it goes. Milchkäse, I think, kind of got away with that a little bit. He unloaded the Flak 41 at the right time. I think if he'd carried on in the truck, that could have been a devastating loss. But he did get away with that. And whether that was through good micro or just luck, he obviously recognised the situation and did unload that Flak 41. So I don't think it was just luck anyway. We'll definitely take that off the table. 2-star FS Jaeger though should be okay here. Yeah, it's currently engaging the Panzer Vernichtens and should clean them up, and then they use that Strupen afterwards. Now in comes the ME-109 G6R2. We got an off map coming into the southern central position. Looks like that has used its ammunition and used its payload, and is sticking around to at least provide air cover for Milchkäse's troops on the northern side. Az still has a 1410 though. He's had it for quite a while now. And 22 minutes time, he will pick up the victory against Milchkäse. Remember, this is the Steel Division League Season 3 Grand Final. We're only going to show one of these games from the best of 5 between these two players. So the winner of this match, it will be crowned winner of the Steel Division League Season 5 Division 3. A lot to play for in this match. A lot to play for. And very tight so far, I think. Az does have the 1410, but I definitely don't think it's kind of like massively in the lead. Ju-87D5 goes down there to the ME-109 G6R2, combined with the AA. And like I was saying, I think if he continues to invest in more planes, I think it's going to go downhill for him. He doesn't have any AA up now as well, so if Milchkäse now goes into a HS-129, you can kiss the tank advantage goodbye on the side of Az. Ooh, the Beuter Stalin onto the field. Oh, just look at the hill there. I'm so easily pleased. And look at the star on the top there. That's interesting. I wonder whether, because that thing has the... Oh no, it does have the... I'm making such a derp move right now. Of course there's a star there. It's a captured Russian tank. For some reason, I was thinking it was a German tank that the Russian captured. I was getting so very confused. Beautiful off-map from Az. Destroys everything in that town. The Panzergrens with the Panzerfaust are making their way in there. And AB-41 tries to catch one of them. Doesn't manage it. And Milchkäse is caught napping here. The Panzer IIIL should clean up the AB-41. The Stug 3G. I think he's going to fire on the MG-42s. But Az has made some significant ground there to help his side out, because he's lost ground up north. And Milchkäse rushing in reinforcements now. FS Jaegers. Just 2 of them. I think Az can handle this, especially with fire support, but he's got to be careful here because, like I've been saying, infantry matchup definitely goes in favour of Milchkäse, so I think he needs to get some fire support in. Perhaps some artillery, because his bombing strikes, they aren't going to be able to continue now. But he has just spent a lot of cash, 155 points on that Boiter Stalin there. Oh, and this flak 4188 is in such a lovely position. Turret's stuck onto the Panzer IV-G. Yeah, it's not really engagement that you want to be taking, and it does go down. These Pioneer SVTs have got to be careful now as well, because this is the problem, or this is one of the... I'm not sure what the right word is to say here. I don't really want to say the problem, but this is an advantage on this map. If you kind of take the enemy's side of things, you get shots onto the reinforcement roads quite easily. You know, if you can take these hills, you can start hitting reinforcement lines. Both players get these kind of advantages. So this is probably like a really balanced map. You do have to be careful. If you lose one of the flanks and the player gets defensive equipment up on these hills, you've got to be very careful on your reinforcement roads. Here's another Ju-87D5 about to go down to the ME-109 G6R2. Should finish off the kill, yeah. So that's what I was saying about the air matchup. Ooh, don't think it did get any kills there. Yeah, and Az's troops have massively gone down in the town now. Milchkäse gets himself a 13-11, so overtakes the lead in terms of tickets, but 33 minutes left on the clock. I think... I was about to say I think Milchkäse's in the better position. I think he is just in the better position, but I don't think it's as far... Oh, God. Really bad camera work. Let's get the duck going in. Will he get the kill? Oh, we did get the kill. I didn't think it was going to get the kill. HS-129, B3. I think that's the one with the 75mm. Does get the kill onto the Boiter Stalin there. And that, I think, does swing it in favour of Milchkäse. Oh, and the MG42's going down as well. If he can rush in troops onto that hill, then he can capture some big swaths of territory in the centre ground where Ash should have the advantage. I was trying to say that I think Milchkäse has the lead, but not... I was going to say not quite as much as I was thinking, but the kill on the Boiter Stalin, especially if you can get in defensive troops into these kind of positions here, I think he does have a nice lead now in this game. The Stug 3G has had to back off transmission damage, I think from the Panzer IV-H, but you know... Black 4188mm, it has to go down. And Ash can't fight that tank versus Black 41. He's got to find a way to defeat it. I think its best counter is going to be artillery, because you can't get the Air Force in now. Especially if the ME-109 roams the skies. Can't get the Air Force in, so he's going to have to get either infantry up close. But in order to do that, he has to defeat all the other infantry, and it isn't in his favour. He has to either manoeuvre his tanks into a close enough position that they can use the machine gun, the two MG34s, as well as the main gun, and kind of overwhelm the Flak 41. Or he has to get some artillery on, but in 1v1, artillery is just not cost effective. Probably the hardest unit to balance. FS Pioneers do come up here, and the Flak 43-37mm are... I think they're going to be okay for now, but they're in a dangerous position. I mean, they can put down a lot of fire. They are 37mm after all. So I think they're just about okay, but they are in a dangerous position because there's nothing else supporting them. Yeah, look how Milchkäse doesn't want to engage that. I mean, it's the right decision. But the ME-109s, well, they are anti-air units, so I was about to say it could come down and strike them. I think they'll be okay. Kill there onto the captured Russian 45mm. Panzer IV-H and Stug dueling there. Sight damage onto the Stug 3J. Should get the kill now. Yeah, does so. Here comes the HS-129B3. On for the attack onto the Panzer IV-H. 37mm now getting involved. They were too late onto the battleground. Ooh, and Milchkäse calls that away. He doesn't want to lose the plane. But actually, if I'm honest, one of the 37 mils has gone down. Not sure what took it out. I mean, Pioneers? Possibly the AB-41? Kind of surprised. I thought the 237 mils would be okay. But yeah, what I was going to say about the B3 is I think he could have carried on with that attack. If he loses that plane, it's not too much of a problem now. He's taken out the boy to Stalin. I mean, obviously you don't want to lose planes like willy-nilly, but he's taken out the big boy. He's taken out the boy to Stalin, and that's what he needed that plane to do, and he's done it. So no more threat from that boy to Stalin. It is post burning on the battlefield. And Milchkäse's in a strong position now. 17-7 up. Double tick onto Az. 30 minutes left on the matchup. And yeah, he is in a strong position. It's going to take Az a long time to get back into this game. If he can get back into it, it might be over. Double ME-109. Oh, look at the turn there. Ooh. I thought the G6R2 was going to shoot down the G2R1 there, but didn't quite happen. AB-41 does go down to the Panzer IV-G. Hearth still not getting involved. This southern flank hasn't really moved. But Milchkäse now bringing in the Panzer Abwehr and the Pioneers. Panzer Abwehrs are a great kind of recon, sneaky beaky behind enemy lines units. Really good. As desperately trying to hold this line. Milchkäse now relying on the Luftwaffenjäger though, so they aren't as effective in the fight as the Fallschirmjäger. Here comes another B3 attack. Ooh, does take care of a Panzer IV-H. One of the 37 mils has gone down, so I think that B3 is going to get away, but it is being hit pretty hard. So it's... Oh, it does go down. Yeah, it was being hit very hard by that 37 mil. 251 goes down to the Stug 3G. No real movement up north. I mean, Az is fighting a tough uphill battle right now. Milchkäse's got himself into strong positions, and it's hard for Milchkäse to come back. I still think he perhaps has a chance. If he can destroy all the Stugs and vehicles, then he still has the tank advantage, remember. So if he can destroy the Stugs and the AT guns, it's not over. He then has to defend against those HS-129s and any bombing strikes. Apologies, I think I knocked the mic there. Any bombing strikes, but he can still find a way back in this. I feel like he is 16-8 down. He's got 10 minutes. I'm not quite sure it's enough time to find his way back in this. But if he did kind of hold on, I think the key is for his vehicles to be able to help out in the infantry fights. But it's getting into a position where he can do that. He has secured some territory here in the center from the looks of things. Especially if the Pioneer SVTs can move forward. That's an extra flag. He's prevented the double tick, so gives himself more time. 21 minutes now. He has more time on his side. Panzer IV-H is engaging the Flak 41. I feel like he needs some artillery. But like I say, it's very uncost effective. I'm going to try and get the artillery tab up in a second. Just bear with me. The problem is, I used to be able to bring up the decks at the bottom and top of the screen. And I'll do that in a moment when I get a chance. But the problem is I don't have 2 monitors now. I used to have 3 monitors. But I sold them when I took my break from YouTube. I didn't actually think I was going to come back to casting. And now I don't have 2 monitors, so I have to switch programs on my screen. Big push here from Milchkäse down south, and just half now defending in between the buildings. The Panzerschreck is going to get the kill, I feel. Stug 3G is going to come in for a close range shot. I would just wait and go for the Panzerschreck kill. Half now is coming around, I think, to try and get the Stug kill. Stug's going to get first shot. Oh, misses! Panzerschreck should get the kill. Yeah, does so. Ooh, that's why I was thinking Milchkäse was better off just going for the Panzerschreck, because would have lost his Stug there, but he didn't. And he's captured some important territory and puts the pressure back onto Az. 16-8 right now. Just as we thought Az was getting back into it, it looks like Milchkäse does have the lead. Let's see whether he does have artillery in his decks. Okay, so he's got 2 mortars, which is probably not enough artillery to do the job. Yeah. I understand why he's only got mortars in his deck, because artillery, I keep saying that artillery is not cost effective, but he needs to take out these AT guns. I feel like, because otherwise he's just throwing his panzers to the death on the AT guns. And this is what I was saying about earlier about units covering reinforcement roads. I mean, it's not the most fantastic sight line, but especially, you know, units coming up here into the center, they're going to get ambushed on the top of this hill. Side shots from the Stug 3G. You know, you've got to be careful when this happens. It's a very powerful position. Ooh, look at these Luftwaffejäger. I didn't quite notice these. Reinforcing Panzergrenadiers coming in, though, to help out. But Milchkäse's got that. They aren't holding the flag, but they are in a nice position there. They are spotted by the MG42, so Az should know they're still there. Panzer 3M versus Stug 3G. Who's going to get the kill? Transmission damage from the Panzer 3M and the APCR shells. He's got 2 at his disposal. Doesn't get the kill with these 2 shells. I don't... Oh! Doesn't need them. Big kill onto that Stug 3G. He needed that kill. Again, takes away the tank-on-tank combat, so now his tanks can engage against the infantry unopposed, and this is how Az wins the game, I feel. He's got 7 minutes, 15-9 to Milchkäse. Is that the last Stug? I do see a Stug 3G up north, so there is still one on the battlefield. G6R2 coming in to hit the MG42. The single 37mm, not enough right now. ME109 G2R1 coming down south to take out the Fallschirmjäger in that building. I think Milchkäse's realised. He's trying to move it, but the ME109 still has the sight picture and gets the kill. Beautiful kill. That's just defending this southern flag with 2 half-tracks now. Really dangerous. Panzergrens do spot the Panzer Adwehr waiting in the wings, but I wonder whether Az realises he's still going to be in trouble, even if those Panzer Abwehr go down. And they are still good fighting units. They've got 4 MP40s, so it's not guaranteed they're going down. But they have lost a number of men here, and I think the Ersatztruppen across the way are engaging as well. At least I think that's what's happening. Sometimes it's hard to see. The Panzer Adwehr do go down. Those Ersatztruppen, I think they were engaging, and now they've switched on to the Pioneers. Oh, and the other Panzerschrecks are spotted. So good work from Az, spotting those units with the Panzergrens up in front of his Panzer 3M. Taking away the danger, but here's the Pak 40. He needs to get rid of the Pak 40 as well, because once that Panzer 3M gets through, he's now got a Pak 40 to deal with. I think Az might be running low on tanks as well now. He must have burned through a lot of tanks. One of the Flak 41s has gone down in number of men. I think that's because the MG42 in the church tower has been able to fire on that Flak 41. The Luftwaffejäger look like they're going to go down here. Although the MG42 goes down, there's now just Ersatztruppen. It's disheartened infantry versus disheartened infantry. The Ersatztruppen outnumber the Luftwaffejäger. In comes the ME1 G6R2 and saves the day for Milchkäse. Air Force saving the day once again. Luftwaffe in the skies, doing the job they're paid for. Looks like Az is mounting a substantial comeback in the north. The Stug 3G has gone down, Possibly to the Panzer 4G, possibly to the Panzerfaust. I don't know. I didn't see that action. Another Panzer Schreck coming in to try and take care of that Panzer 4G. But as it is making gains, I mean, if he gets back into this town, it's very lightly defended. He can get back in there. That's another 2 flags. He could actually equal a 12-12 if he does that. This match is not over yet. 10 minutes left for Az to get back into it. I felt like it was over. I've got to say, when the Boys of Stalin went down, I was trying to skirt around saying it, but I thought Milchkäse had secured it at that point. Az is making the comeback. He is making the comeback. G6R2 going in for the kill onto the MG42 in the windmill. Doesn't quite get a full kill, but the Fallschirmjäger, is that the full name? Not sure what the second small S means. But the Fallschirmjäger MG42 still helping out. Never noticed the little S before the MG42. Is that new? Or Schwera's MG42? I believe that's likely to be what it stands for. I don't think I'd noticed that little S there before. Ooh, Panzer Schreck. I think it took out one half track. There were 2 down here. It's going in for the kill on the second one. Az does spot it though. Ooh. Doesn't quite get out of range in time. And Milchkäse does get that southern flag back. 15-9. Less than 5 minutes for Az to make the gains he needs to make. Panzer 4G pushing over the open ground. And this is what I meant. The Flak 41s have gone down. Pack 40s have gone down. We've just got one Pack 38 slowly making its way through to try and ambush that Panzer 4G. But this is what I meant. If those Panzer 4Gs can sit in the open almost unopposed, then the infantry fight is going to start to go Az's way. And I feel like this is slowly turning. This is tight. ME109 G6R2 coming in for the kill again on the MG42, but not quite securing it, leaving one man alive. Oh, this is tense. This is tense, guys. I am really starting to enjoy this. 251's pushed forward in the south, getting taken out by the Panzer Schreck. I think this is a mistake from Az. He knows there's a Panzer Schreck there. He's lost 4 units to it now. Just 2... I think he's rushing to try and take flags back. He's just throwing away half tracks, desperately trying to get flags back. But he's got the time. I mean, if he'd have just waited, used that G2R1 to get the kill, continued to wait, could have left his half tracks, you know, far enough back that they can still fire on anything, but they wouldn't have died. Yeah, I think that was impatience from Az there. Panzer 4G. Perfect position, unknowingly probably, for Az to hold off. Needs to get rid of this MG42 though, because it's currently preventing the Pioneers moving across the open ground. The other alternative is moving them further north, but then the other MG42 is going to get involved as well. So he kind of needs to get that. Oh, down goes the Pack 38. Great kill there for Az. I didn't realise he had that unit spotted. Oh, really good kill. And that should allow him to move his Panzer 4G forwards to cover the MG42 that's currently mowing down his unit. Uses an ME109 to do the job anyway. And finally, he's free, but the Pioneers are all but dead, littering this field here with bodies. There is one man still in there, desperately on the deck, crying for his life, no doubt. Panzergrenz, though, move in to pick up the position. Panzer 4G, spotting the Luftwaffe Jäger there in the truck. Doesn't quite go down. Oh, this is tense. 13-11 to Milchkäse. There has been a capture of a flag. Oh, I think in this centre town, those 2 flags have gone down. The ME-G6R2 desperately trying to take down the machine guns and the half-tracks with the troops in there. This could be quite a powerful hit here. Ooh, decimating one of the Panzergrenz. But I think Az has done enough to get into the forest here. This is a comeback. 12-12. Oh, this is a tense game now. How is Milchkäse going to recover this game? 12-12. He was well in the lead. I mean, in terms of unit numbers, I still think it's rather easy. But he has to defeat these tanks. He has to defeat these tanks. How is Az going to continue the storm? Well, there's a Stug 3G coming onto the field up north, but that's the only tank he has to get through. I think it's just methodical play from Az. He needs to be patient. He needs to play this methodically. Defeat the Stug 3G. Defeat any Panzerschrecks he comes across. Defeat the AT guns. And be patient with his infantry and his half-tracks. And I think Az can win this. Milchkäse needs to desperately take out those tanks. If he can take out the tanks, his infantry have no problems. I think some more AA will definitely help out Milchkäse because he is now coming under more air attack. Let's just come back and try and pick up the anti-air for Milchkäse. We've definitely seen 2 Flak 4188s, but I don't think we've seen 6, so he definitely has more of those. I'm pretty sure he's probably used both of those 37 mils. So he definitely has more Flak 4188 mils, and I think he needs to get them out onto the battlefield. I'm pretty sure he's not used 6 Flak 4188 mils. I've definitely seen 2 go down. I would be incredibly surprised if Az has destroyed. Yeah, here's one going up north. This is the right call. This is the right call. I imagine Milchkäse is probably low or out of AT guns. He is now starting to move Pack 40s in. So those Flak 41s, they can do the double job, protecting the skies and come in as the AT guns. He needs to re-establish a line up on this defensive hill. The Panzer IV G has gone down, I think, to the Pack 40 here, which is a good move for Milchkäse. That gives him some breathing room in the center, and he can now start to push forwards his infantry over the open ground once again. Because over the open ground, I think the Fallschirmjägers have the advantage. Especially if they're supported by their MG42s. Milchkäse definitely needs to shut down the skies again. He's left his AA too weak after the kills onto the Flak 41s. Did recapture the flag down south, but it looks like Az has destroyed the main kind of defense that he had down there. Milchkäse is trying to bring in troops to hold the flag, but I think Az has this one, and he picks up a 13-11. It all depends on these Fallschirmjägers in here. They are supported by the Luftwaffe, and it's important that Milchkäse has that support. But can they get through 4 squads of Panzergrens with the supporting half-tracks? Hard to say at this point. I imagine we're going to get airstrikes coming in from both sides in that engagement. That's quite an important one. That flag could be a deciding flag in this match. Right now, it's just one flag that separates the two teams. Az has the lead, 13-11, 20 minutes left on the clock. We thought it was over at the 20-minute mark. We're now at the 40-minute mark, and there's no chance this game is over anytime soon. Finally, a 2.512 comes onto the battlefield. 82mm mortar half-track, and I think Az has been needing this for quite a while, but he does now bring it in there. G2R1 comes in for the bombing strike. Oh, double kill onto the Luftwaffe Jaeger, but will he get out alive? I'm not sure he will. The Flak 4188 is going to get another shot in. Just about gets out alive, although, yeah, has taken some hits there. Has taken some hits. Down south, we have the engagement now. FS Jaeger using the Luftwaffe using the smoke. The Luftwaffe over on the west have gone down. The Jaeger get a kill on the half-track with the Panzerfaust. Panzergrens are being taken down in terms of numbers. Milchkäse starting to retreat his FS Jaeger. Here come the airstrikes. That's what as needed. Milchkäse desperately trying to retreat those FS Jaegers. I think he needs to move back the Luftwaffe as well. Oh, but the counter airstrike. It was just as I predicted. Airstrikes from both sides. I mean, that was a very important engagement there. So, not surprising that we saw aircraft from both sides come in there. Who won it? I think in terms of numbers, Milchkäse did the most destruction in terms of damage. But in terms of the map control, I think Ash just managed to tip the balance, forcing Milchkäse back, holding the flag, but he does need to reinforce that position. If he doesn't, here come the reinforcements. Definitely a good call. Flak 41, 88 mil coming in for Milchkäse, and I think that's a longer strategic call. Ooh, Luftwaffe go down, take away some veterancy on the side of the Fallschirmjäger. Forces back the Fallschirmjäger Panzer Abwehr as well. Nice moves from Ash down south. I think he is making gains in this southern area. We'll have to see whether he can continue to do that, but I do like the Flak 41 call in, because that's going to stop the airstrikes, and Ash has been making these gains via the airstrikes. Big kill from the Me-109 G6R2 into the center. That's going to swing a flag back to Milchkäse, bring it back to a 12-12. But the reinforcing Panzergrenz are going to come here and take the flag back. The Pak 38 is defending. Yeah, dual loads, good to see, as didn't lose a trooper there. Oh, the MG42 in a nice spot there to hold the open ground as well, though. Off tracks, I think, are trying to rush forward to get the kill onto the Pak 38. In comes the G2. Oh, one, but it's forced back. This is what I was talking about, the air, the anti-air needed from Milchkäse. So now he's got that anti-air back in. He's avoiding the airstrikes onto his important units. 12-12. Very tight game. Very tight game. Panzer Abwehr are going to get the kill onto the half tracks. Fallschirmjäger moving into the forest are going to go down, but do take down a troop of Panzergrenz. Half tracks move. I think again, as he's been a little too impatient here with his half tracks. He needs his half tracks to help out his infantry, but he's throwing them forward and they're getting killed too easily. If he can sit them here, that's a much better position. Now he's got them down this road. He needs to get them out of line of sight of those of those Panzerfaust. Oh, this is an incredibly tense match. Me-109 G2 R1 from... Wow. Me-109's from both players here. Oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. Oh, Milchkäse's forced back. Az picks up the flag. 13-11. 40 minutes 51 back on the clock. Oh, Division 3. We've seen a Division 5 match as well. And what a fantastic match that was. Both of these divisions pulling out amazing matches. Smoke coming in from the 2512. I like the choices here. He's trying to cover the open ground. And this is what Ash needs to do. Take his time. Be patient. He can do this. 15 minutes to defeat Milchkäse. But on the other hand, Milchkäse, you know, if he swings a few engagements here and there, he definitely can do it as well. Stug 3G coming into the battlefield. He still has the Stugs. That might be his very last one. He only had 12 in total, and I don't know whether 12 have gone down. I reckon probably at least 6 to 8. So he might have a few more at his disposal. Another Flak 41 comes on. You've got to feel like although he's given up territory or he's lost territory and he's lost engagement, he has been reinforcing his kind of supporting units. Oh, now comes in the 105s, and I imagine that's to counter the mortar, which again, a supporting unit. I mean, but these are good calls from Milchkäse. If he can keep his supporting units up, his infantry will win the infantry fight. So he just needs to keep those half tracks away and keep the tanks away. It's becoming a very strategic game now. As backs away his mortar, a good micro. And the Panzergrenz obviously went down. So again, he's trying to move these in, but I feel like he needs to be more patient. He needs to stop, wait for his mortar to move position, throw down smoke. Get his Panzergrenz up under the cover of smoke. And then he needs to use his mortar to hit the units on the hill. Oh, this is tight. His AA is also a little bit lacking as well. And he's using his ME-109s purely as bombers. I wonder what... Ooh, I just said it was lacking, and it goes and takes down the ME-109 there. Let's see whether these ME-109s get through, because there's a lot of AA now on the field, which was the right call from Milchkäse. One of them got through. Oh, but there's some Fallschirmjäger here that make it into the building. The Stosstroop, though, they're out of those Molotov cocktails. I don't think Milchkäse is aware of that. Obviously, he will have just seen Stosstroop backed away. They actually move around the side of the building. And they get into range, and they're going to demolish the smaller squad. Stosstroop with the 3 PPSH and the 2 MP40s, whereas the Fallschirmjäger have the FG42s and the 6 G43s. They're definitely going to decimate those units, even in the no cover scenario. I'm not sure what actually killed the Stosstroop. I feel like it was the shot from something. It may have been the Pak 40. I don't think it was a stray bomb from the ME-109, but I don't know. Maybe my eyes didn't quite catch that. Looks like down in the south, Milchkäse has destroyed some of Az's units. He is trying to push back in there with the Fallschirmjäger and the Luftwaffe. The Panzer 3M hasn't really helped out since its earlier engagements. So a little bit of kind of like a wasted unit. That's been there for a long time. Just kind of thinking what he could have done with it. Maybe could have moved it back here to kind of cover these buildings. I think that's probably the kind of best play that he could have kind of maneuvered his way into. I mean, he could have... I think it would have been a bad play to see him take it through the light forest. Just 2 close quarters. There's too many Panzerfausts and Panzerschrecks. But he does bring in a Panzer IV-H in there, which I'm not quite sure about this decision. I think it's to fight against the Stug 3G, because obviously they've been engaging, but he's had that Panzer 3M just sat there not doing anything. And he's now kind of reinforced that with the Panzer IV-H that is probably just going to sit there and do nothing. So I'm kind of not quite sure about that. He's now using a second mortar to try and hit those Flak 41s, which I think is the right call. But Milchkäse investing in the Geb 40s to counter battery is also the right call as well. Although I think that's attempted counter battery. I don't think that was necessarily to try and hit the infantry. Yeah, he's trying to counter battery, which is the right thing. So we're back to a 12-12 again. I think Az needs patience. He needs patience. I think Milchkäse just needs to continue the strategy that he's on, investing in those support units. We see another Flak 4188 mil going on, and I think Az has considerably strengthened his units here. Sorry, Milchkäse has considerably strengthened his units. Az is now having to invest in substantial kind of bombing strikes to get his planes through to target, and none of those came through. So he tried 3 ME-109s and a fighter there as well. None of them got through. So the sky's completely shut off for Az. Milchkäse has complete control of the skies now, and that's really going to help him out, because he was losing a lot of units, especially down south, to airstrikes. And so the double Flak 41s down south are really going to help him out, and this one here I think can still get involved. He's almost got this flag back down south. He does have the 1311 briefly for a moment there. He should be able to pick it up once he realises he needs to move his Fallschirmjäger just a touch further forward. And Milchkäse has re-established full control over the southern area. The 2 understrength Panzergrenadier squads are not going to be able to compete there for Az. And the half tracks are going down to the Pak 40. Panzer IV-H is in a nice position to try and kill the MG 42. 12-12, 48 minutes. I feel like Milchkäse perhaps has the lead. But Az is definitely not out of this. He just needs that patience and he needs some time. Whether he has time, though, that is the question. Because Milchkäse goes 13-11, capturing this southern flag. And it's going to take... He's going to need those bombing strikes to come in down south. I think he's going to have to do the tactic of bringing in several bombers at once to try and help him defeat the units down here. But I think he should be trying to invest in this southern position again. I think that's the flag he needs to take back right now. He's currently investing in this center position, trying to take this flag in the woods, but he's covered. I mean, he is making progress, but it's difficult progress, and he's still got to get through another Pack 40 here. He might not know this, obviously. You know, we have the value of seeing the units. He still has considerable guns and supporting equipment to get through, and a Stug 3G now onto the battlefield as well. I think the call is to attack the south. He has moved his Panzergrenz up. They're unsupported. He needs the mortars to get in action really down south as well. Yeah, here come the bombing strikes. Here come the bombing strikes. And the AA is too far back, although it does force back one of them. And the bombing strikes really helped him out there. Almost defeated 2 units. But both of his Panzergrenz went down. Can he get the reinforcements in time? Big question for Az. If I was Milchkäse, I think I'd be attacking like the edge of these forests with my 105s right now. He needs to just hold one flag for 1 minute 30. And it looks like he might get a second one here with the Fallschirmjäger coming in. Depends whether those Panzergrenz can defeat those Fallschirmjäger. Ooh, ME-109 G2. Oh, no, I think they're coming in for the Panzergrenz across the open side. Okay. Ooh, yeah. The Panzergrenz being engaged by the MG42, the Pack 40, I think, and the... No, that's out of HE, and the Flak 4188, so they go down. The Fallschirmjäger just need to hop forward in the buildings. Milchkäse will secure a 14-10. Less than a minute left on the clock, and I think it's over now. A fantastic match between Milchkäse and Ash. I had no idea where this one was going to go. But I think Milchkäse has this, you know, has managed to secure the win here. 30 seconds left on the clock. Az makes some final desperate moves to push Panzergrenz into this central forest, but he needs 2 flags, and I don't think he's going to get them in time. 15 seconds left on the clock. Milchkäse is going to get crowned Division 3 champion, and what a fantastic game to finish things off. One of the best games of the season, I think, overall, and certainly a rival to the Gonzo and Quad Ryu series. 51 minutes, 47 seconds. Congratulations to Milchkäse. He is crowned champion of Steel Division League Season 5, Division 3. He is not super bad. He is Milchkäse. And many, many, many commiserations to Az there. I'm probably murdering his... name, but what a fantastic battle that was. A truly magnificent fight between these two players. But Milchkäse secures it. 4,500 kills to 4,000 losses. A tight, tense and engaging battle between them. Beautiful to watch. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed casting it. I thought it was over at 20 minutes, but no, 51 minutes. What a game. Beautiful, beautiful. And yeah, just a fantastic game, I've got to say. Just a fantastic game. Stug 3G here. Picks up a mostly half tracks. I think this was the one up on the northern side that got onto the hill to kind of cover the reinforcement zone, which is why he got so many half track kills. Panzerschreck, important. Those Panzerschrecks and Panzer Abwehrs did the job, and they did get a number of kills. Flak 4188 did its job as well, picking up 1, 2, 3 tank kills along with the Ju-87. ME-109s did just sterling work on both sides of the battlefield today. This one here, Zumwalt, picks up 3 Ju-87 kills along with some bombing strikes onto the enemy units. Another Flak 4188 mil picking up Panzer after Panzer kill. I think Ash could have done with some heavier artillery, actually, which is really normally not the case in 1v1. But I feel like maybe he could have done with some heavier artillery to counter those Flak 41s. HS-129B3, that got the big kill onto the Boy to Stalin. Did the job that it needed to do. Eckhart. And that Boy to Stalin, man, that was a costly loss for Az. 155 points of pure nothing, really, I guess. I don't think that got a kill. I don't think that got a kill at all. As soon as it came in, it just went down. Panzer Advir's picking up kills. And Hoth finally went down to the Panzerschreck. Look at the half-track kills from that Panzerschreck. I think that was down there in the southern forest. I mean, definitely would have been in the south because that's where Hoth was. But I think obviously that unit survived and then pushed into the southern forest and killed a lot of those half-tracks trying to, that Ash was trying to use to take back that southern flag at the towards the middle to end part of that game. And this is what I was talking about with patience with Az. If he'd have kept a lot of those half-tracks, 300 meters away, those Panzerschrecks wouldn't have been able to kill them, and the weight of fire from those MG34s or MG42s, I'm not sure which variant is in that half track, but they could have really helped out in the infantry engagements. So Milchkäse did really well to get the Panzerschrecks, to get the number of Panzerschreck kills he did, and I think Az was a little bit impatient, I would say. But it's tough in those situations, it is tough. I can't say I would have performed better myself. Oh, look at this Pak 3850. Yeah. Oof. Oof. How many half-track kills did that thing get? That's just too many. Too many. More half-tracks dying. Oh, more half-tracks going down. I literally couldn't count the number of half-tracks that have died in this game. So many half-tracks. Let's have a quick look at the kills from Az. Let's see whether we get anything kind of spectacular. I saw one of the early off maps. There was one up into the northern town that allowed him to push in, but I didn't really see any of the other ones. So we did miss those half-tracks. Miss those off maps in this game. Off got a couple of kills onto some infantry units. Probably didn't really do his job as the ace of the division today. ME-109 is getting so many kills here. So Milchkäse was completely right to reinforce his anti-air sort of in the middle part of the game. I think that decision to reinforce his anti-air, to bring in those Flak 4188 mils, I think that was probably overall the best decision for Milchkäse to make at that point, and I think that was the decision that won him the game. I think if he would have carried on the game without those Flak 4188 mils, he would have just been under sustained ME-109 attack over and over again, and you see the damage being done to his frontline infantry troops. If that had happened, he would have lost just too many infantry troops and he wouldn't have been able to hold the flags. And that's what Milchkäse needed to do. So I think he made an important decision bringing in those remaining Flak 4188 mils. And that, I personally think, was the winning decision in this game. Hopefully you enjoyed it. What a game this was. Fantastic match between these two players. I loved it. Like I say, hopefully you did as well. Thanks very much for watching. Leave all your comments down below. Let me know what your thoughts on the audio. I'm going to be asking for a few weeks while I kind of fine tune things. I also hear a lot of background noise that I think the software I'm using cuts out, but because I direct monitor through my headphones, I actually get kind of a worse, or I think I get a worse audio than you actually get on the videos, which is a little bit annoying for me. But so once I get it into a fine-tuned position, I can kind of tone down the amount of audio monitoring I'm doing, which saves my ears because I get a terrible background noise. And any other comments you've got to make, leave them down below. Check out my YouTube channel membership if you want to join, help support the channel. Get a few perks along the way, as well as early access to videos, among other things. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. Why are you not subscribed? Press that subscribe button now. Thanks very much for watching. I am Angry Birds. I will see you in the future.